And welcome to another one of my videos. Before I do get into today's video, I just wanted to talk about the success and whatnot of yesterday's video. I was really taken back by the fact that it got 1,500 views. Thank you for all the support. I don't really know what makes the algorithm tick. Like for me, I put that video out thinking I might get 300-400 views. I can say what I wish to say, and some people will gravitate towards that. But I don't really understand why people clicked on that one. So one thing I will also say is that I had a couple of weird comments, like really strange comments, and I just thought I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'll always invite people's views. I think it's good. Whether you're left leaning or right leaning politically, I think your views are always welcome on my channel. But I think they've got to be constructive, and I think they've got to be well natured. There's nothing wrong with debate. But there was a couple of comments that I deleted because ultimately I thought they were borderline just trolling. Don't have time for it. Go bother someone else. But I was really overwhelmed by the response to that video, so I do appreciate it. Now, to get into the topic of today's video, I wanted to talk about why, as a gold dealer or a coin dealer, I'm probably coin and stamp dealer, why I've gone down the route of prepping. As per usual, I'll talk about my rationale. I seem to be very vocal on my thought processes, which a lot of people have messaged me in the past saying they appreciate it. I hope it's not the blind leading the blind. But it's simply a case of, since I've been an adult, I've gone through the great credit crunch of '08. Yeah, I remember that one. Couldn't get a job. That's probably why I ended up being a coin dealer. And then we've had the pandemic, which had supply side issues. And that caused a lot of problems for a long time. I also worked in a supermarket back then. I took a job to just get me out of the house, and it went from being a 2-night a week to I'm working every day and can't pay my bills because my business has gone down. And now we're probably the closest we've ever been to a war in Western Europe. And if you look at the news, or if you've got friends abroad, especially in France and Germany, Scandinavia is not in a good place, you'll understand that there's division tactics going on. It's hard to go into a topic without talking about the political aspect of it. I don't like to talk about politics. I can talk about it, but I find it very derisive. It separates people when it never used to be the case. Now, I have my rationale. I think I know why that is. Like, if you look at social media used to be a place where you'd have the left, the right, and you meet in the middle, and you'd agree or disagree, and that was fine. But now it tends to be the algorithm puts you in your own echo chamber, and it's caused a lot of problems. Personally, I think it should be banned. But I'm looking at the situation we're in now, and I think, maybe it's right to put some things to one side. I'm not talking about being king of the castle and stacking it as hard as I can and looking down on people. Nothing the case. Just prepare for every eventuality. Now, do I think there's going to be a war in mainland Europe, including the UK? No, I don't. And I'm fortunate enough, or unfortunate, depending on what side of the coin you want to be on. If a nuclear bomb was to be dropped on London, I'd be dead. It's fine, but I don't think we're going to get to that. So that's one eventuality I don't have to worry about. But if there was a boots on the ground kind of intervention, I want to make sure that I've got some form of supplies in terms of water and coin. And we're not talking a lot. I don't think it's going to happen, personally. But I just want to make sure that I sleep easy at night in case it does. Now, there was a comment yesterday from one of my subs. He comments a lot. And he said, yeah, but the people with guns go for the people. We don't have the guns in the UK. We just don't. It's a valid point, I guess, for other countries. I don't know how many countries do have guns. Is it just the US and Canada? Does Canada have guns? I don't know. I'd have to be educated on that matter, but I'm not worried in the UK about that myself. I know Australia doesn't have them. having lived there. So when I was growing up, my mother, believe it or not, was a prepper. I just didn't know it. When we moved her house, her last house, I had a falling out with her, big time. And I said, why do you have 4,000 tea bags and 5,000 canned tins, tin food? Why do you have copious amounts of long life milk? And I never understood it until recently. I never understood why that was a thing. Because in my mindset, I've always been of the mindset, I'll make more money. It's always going to be there, like financially for me. Because I know what it's like not to have money. I do. It is a stress and it's a cancer because you're put in situations that you don't want to be in. I'm not in that situation anymore. So I was always, when I was younger, I will just work more. It's probably one of the reasons why I got sick. One of many reasons, but I'll just work more and I won't put myself in that situation. But when my mother was younger, she said to me, she's like, my mother, or her mother, my grandmother, used to take it down the dockyard and I used to scavenge for coal to heat the house. Different world, completely different world. But she took that with her into her life and she still does it now. But whereas before I was a bit scornful of her, like, oh, why are you doing this? It's fine. Having gone through a credit crunch and a pandemic where the supply line's gone down and potential future problems going forward, I'm thinking maybe she was right, and that's okay. Now, in terms of what I've been buying up, it's not a lot. It really isn't. It's literally a small amount to ease that unease in my mind. I'm aiming for 100 American dollars and probably several 1 gram bars. By several, I won't put a number on that. One of the comments yesterday went, man got 50 ounce. Thinks he's escaped the rat race. And I was thinking, you don't know what I have. No one knows what I have because I don't even know what I have most days. It's so fluent. It's in such a state of flux. And it changes on the weekly. But if I can put aside some of these things just to ease my mind a little, then okay, what's wrong with going down that avenue? But it's only one of many scenarios. I don't want people to say, you're shilling silver. Well, I'm winding the business down. It doesn't matter. You're doing this. No, I'm taking precautions to look after me and my family. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I think the world is so complex. I had this chat with my father a long time ago, and he was like, but there's such evil in the world. And I said, well, the world is in a constant state of flux, and if you're going to extrapolate it to its most extreme, if we was living under such evil, we wouldn't have a sense of freedom in a way. I'm not saying the system's perfect, but also if you believe in such big powers that are evil, why isn't there such big powers that are good? I don't want to go down that route because I think it's one of those where you open your mind up so much that it falls out your head. And I don't think that's a sensible route to go down. But a little bit of planning, forethought, if we do have a supply shock, I'll say war does come, and I'm not saying it is, I'm not scaremongering. Why not be prudent? Why not grow your own vegetables? Why not put aside some assets just in case? Do I think we're going to go into a Mad Max style environment? No, I don't think we're ever going to get there. I don't think it will ever be like that. I personally can't see it. Now, in terms of scenario planning, you could say there's a 0.1% chance and don't rule it out. Could be the case. It's a fair comment. I don't personally think it will get there, but it's down to you as an individual to plan accordingly in your own situation. And for me, I think it's just a bit prudent to put some things aside to ease my mind just in case. Not enough for someone to rob me. It will last me probably 6 months and then we're all in the same boat anyway. all in this together. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's kind of given you ideas. If anyone wants to send me a message, you're more than welcome to. You know, I like to deal with people. If anyone wants to say something that's a bit strange, I'll just delete you. It's okay. You know, it's not a problem. So I will see you on the next one. Bye.